Now that we've got that quackery out of the way, there's one serious topic I need to discuss, which is multiple inheritance. And that's the answer to the question of whether a class can have more than one base class. The answer depends on the programming language. In Python, the answer is yes. Other languages don't allow this. For example, Java only allows a single base class for a class and works out other mechanisms to solve some of the problems that we solve with multiple inheritance. In Python, a class can have multiple base classes, and this is both very useful and potentially quite dangerous. So here's an example. So remember what we did before. We had a discerning bear, which was a subclass of grizzly bear, and it overrode the eat method of bear to be discerning and not eat humans named Dave. So what should we do if we want both discerning grizzly bears and discerning black bears? Well, one solution would be to add a new subclass that would be a discerning black bear that would also override the eat method, and that would be a subclass of black bear. This seems like a bad thing. We've got a lot of duplication, and we've mixed up our notions of whether a bear is discerning and whether it can climb or knock down trees. So here's what we're going to do instead. We'll define a new discerning bear class, which is a subclass of bear and overrides the eat method. Then we can create a discerning grizzly bear, which is a subclass of both a grizzly bear and a discerning bear. That means it will inherit the knockdown method from grizzly bear and the eat method from discerning bear. And we could also define a discerning black bear class, which would inherit the climb method from black bear and the eat method from discerning bear. Here's what the code looks like. It's the same discerning bear class we had before, except for we've changed the base class, which was a grizzly bear. Now it's just a bear. To define the discerning grizzly bear class, all we need to do is inherit from two base classes, the discerning bear and the grizzly bear. We don't need to define any new attributes. We've got all the behaviors we need by combining those two. Similarly, for the discerning black bear, all we need to do is inherit from the discerning bear and the black bear, and we have everything we need. So this is pretty neat and can be very useful, but also can be a little bit tricky. So now we're going to have a quiz.